What is going on, YouTube fans and Gunpla builders? It is your favorite builder, Oh My Wings, with another video of the Gundam Breaker Battlouge Gundam Astray Red Frame Inversion.
Oh my.
Now, of course, if we looked at the box here, this art design is always, and I say in every single video, is fantastic and it looks amazing. So, something, of course, I want to point out is the red frame inversion. It's not much. The thing I have the issue with is because the inversion actually means the inverse colors. So technically it should be red and white. So the white would go here and the red would go here. But I guess for other sakes they decided to go black, which is not bad though, because black is pretty good. And I've seen the inside and I'll show you why that black and red actually go super well together, because obviously it looks awesome, but there is a significant meaning, which I believe. So yeah, so just looking here, box is great. As we look to the side, again, this is probably based off the 2007 red frame kit, so there's a good chance that might be it. So fingers crossed if there's any different, but most likely there's not. So you can see the front, you see the back, and as well as the action poses as usual. And you look here, more of the art. And of course here there's the customization on how to customize the kit if you want to use the second wave kits to put them all together, or even some of the first waves. And of course the introduction of the Gundam Breaker Battlouge. And if you want to see more of the show, it is on YouTube now. All episodes are on there. So let's look inside. So of course we always like to start off with the manual. As you look in here, the manual, it has the awesome design in the front of the box, and as well as the action itself, and of course a little bit of details on the Gundam Astray red frame inversion. Just a little bit of background, and of course, as mentioned, this is based off the Gundam Astray red frame, except the only difference is the colors are different. Again, that's basically the part of it, but the difference, what I think it is, and the reason why they chose red and black. So if you look here, it is based off of Mr. Bushido's mobile suit, which is also red and black. So I assume that's the biggest reason why they changed the colors, but I don't know if that's really true, because the pilot is piloted by Mr. Bushido in the anime series, or Graham Acre Best Boy, whatever you want to call him. So I think that's the true purpose of the coloring, but I don't know, I could be totally wrong. So of course it comes with the beam rifle, the blade, and as well as a shield, and of course the I guess the I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not gonna even try it. So the head unit of those weird dog mobile suits in Gundam Seed. And as you look through here, it's pretty much the same. Now the one thing I will mention, in which I think it's different, so for this manual it is pretty much the same, but there are some parts on here that are super different, like the sticker placement. So if you like stickers, which most people don't, you definitely want to use the manual, because it is not the same as the red frame Astray from the 2007. Now the parts are the same, but the sticker alignment and some of the parts are somewhat different. So that's the cool thing about that. So there's a small difference. And just looking at the sticker sheet, it is horrifying. I mean, look how many stickers there are on this. It's horrible. Like, there's just way too many stickers, but I use as much as I can before I decided to go crazy and hate these stickers. So I try to put the main ones on just to make it look a little nicer, and it turned out okay. So if anything, you definitely are better without the stickers, or at least paint it to something nicer. That's my personal opinion. So looking at the runners here, as mentioned, if you look at the back of the runners, so this was from 2013. I might have said 2007, but what I meant was 2013. So most of these runners are 2013 runners, pretty much the same as the kit itself. The only difference is, I think the coloring is different, so the molding is changed. So it's, instead of white, it is black, and instead of red, it's more like a maroon kind of red. So that's really nice. And of course the 2021 customization, if you want to be able to use this for to customize the other Gundam Battlouge kits, or just any other kits, whatever you want to try building, this is the runner for you. So after building the kit, this is my first time building the red frame at all, because I don't really build much red frames, so I'm not a huge fan of it. But just basing off the kit, I can tell how old the kit is, and it does feel pretty flimsy at some points. Now the action posing is pretty good. Coloring, I do like the coloring. The coloring is definitely there for it. I think it's a really good posing as well as the coloring, but the stickers, as mentioned, are just horrifying. And the sides, it's so flimsy, it just comes off right there. So the side skirts definitely have a huge issue. And as mentioned about the stickers on the sword, it kind of works, but it doesn't, because you can see just how poorly these are made, or how poorly I put them on. I don't know. I really don't like it. I rather just have painted it myself, if anything. Just like, just my other kits right here. I literally have one that I painted, and maybe I can just replace it. Maybe I'll just replace it just to make it look a little nicer for it. So there you go. So this one's way nicer. So we're just going to use this one for now because I painted it and I think it looks nice. So just from this, the stickers were just horrifying. Never want to do it again, but I had to for the video, of course. So overall, stickers aren't so good. And of course, in terms of articulation, we always talk about. So if you pull this off. Now, the cool thing I will mention, which is really nice, is the flight pack. So instead of just taking out, when you take out the flight pack, it's not only just emptiness, right? There is a backpack that's also, that connects to it. So you can pull this one up to basically connect to the back. So it looks like a normal red frame without the flight unit. So that's really nice. And I thought that was a really cool creative technique. And not a lot of kits have that for HGs. So I'm going to give them props for that. And of course, the 360 turn. And it has doesn't have a giggity goo, but it can turn 360. But it is a little tough, so I wouldn't do it too much. But the 360 is there. And as mentioned, the red eyes look really nice on the red frame. So I'll tell you that much. The red eyes is a nice touch, and I think it works very well with this kit overall. Shield seems to be pretty good. If you rotate it, works pretty well. And if you do the splits, it can mainly do the splits, which is pretty nice. The flexibility, posing, articulation is not too bad. And as mentioned, as the posing is pretty solid. It gets the job done. But again, like I mentioned, I think it's because the coloring does a really good job in making it look better, looking more badass. So I think that's what really helps a lot with the kit. So on to the weapons parts. As mentioned, it comes with the flight unit, which the flight unit is pretty nice, and it's similar to the Strike Gundam, or I guess the Alley Strike, whatever you want to call it, or the Perfect Strike. So has that kind of same form as the flight unit. Not as bad as I thought it was. Very, very simple, but I do like the booster part right here, which is really cool. It's able to bend this way and up, so this isn't too terrible. And of course, it comes with a beam rifle connected to the hand. Simple beam rifle, pretty easy, didn't really need a manual for it. And of course, it has the Doge head. I'm just going to call it the Doge head. And the Doge head is pretty cool, so I'm pretty excited putting that on with the hand later. But I think this is a pretty cool gimmick, and I didn't know they had this for the red frame. So this was really, really cool. And of course, with two beam sabers, if you saw earlier, they had beam sabers on the back. You get two of them. And of course, you get a shield. The shield is pretty solid, as mentioned. And of course, as I mentioned, the sheath is kind of trash. Don't really like it, but they tried and it looks decent for the most part. But again, like I said, better to paint it. And of course, this is the sword I decided to replace it with. Looks way nicer, but I guess if I really have to show you what the real one looks like, it looks like this after, and it's just not pretty looking. So not a fan of this, don't really like it, but it is what it is. Of course, it comes with the hands right here, 2 hands, technically 4, I guess you want to call it 4 hands. So here are some of the action poses that we can see here, and adding the Doge head. I'm not gonna lie, the Doge head is it's a pretty cool gimmick. I'm actually really surprised on the Doge head. It looks really cool, and I think it's better to keep it on because I think it definitely has a good uniqueness in terms of a nice gimmick. And of course, the rifle is pretty solid. The shield, flight unit, definitely pretty awesome. Posing, as mentioned, is pretty decent for the posing, but I think it's really the color that makes it really stand out, which is nice. And I like the little handle that they put on the Doge hand, which connects very well. So it's easy to slip off and easy to slip on. So I can just pull this off right here. And you can just place it inside the Doge head where it has a little socket, so you can leave it in there, which is pretty nice. And of course, if we go on forward here, we can put on the 2 beam sabers. Beam saber there, and we take this part off, and beam saber there, and 2 beam sabers, as you can see here. So you can see the twin sabers, not too bad, pretty cool posing. But for me personally, I'm not a fan of the beam sabers, and I don't really care too much. So it's time to go to the star of the show. What Mr. Bushido would probably use is a samurai sword, as you can see here, and that's the biggest reason why everyone likes the red frame, is the samurai sword. So We'll place the samurai sword here. And voila. So you got yourself the samurai sword, and which makes it super epic, besides me falling right there. But if you go like this, it looks really good. Like anything with like a samurai sword for a Gundam or a mobile suit, it's always a good idea. And I believe Mr. Bushido, aka Grant Maker, would be super proud, for piloting this if he was able to pilot this in real life. So after reviewing over the kit and building it for the first time, overall I do like the coloring. I think the coloring did a really good job of this, and it just looks so badass. But honestly, I'm gonna have to give it a 2 out of 5 wings, just because the build is just not where I want it to be. As mentioned, the side skirts are really loose. As mentioned, I can't even keep it on because it keeps falling off. But the head was cool. The weapon choice was pretty good. And just from first experiences, it's not that great. It could be a lot better, but the coloring is nice. So definitely giving this a 2 out of 5 wings. But that doesn't mean I would not recommend it if you get yourself hands on one, just because, if you want yourself a nice samurai sword, you can definitely have that. But I believe they have the MG, and you can probably just paint it black and maroon overall. So anyways, I think this is a decent kit. Not terrible, but definitely worth 2 out of 5 wings. So if you like this video, you can like and subscribe below. And if you have any other opinions about it, please comment below as well. And if you have any fun facts, comment below. And if you like to watch Twitch, we're also on Twitch at Oh My Wings, so check us out. Links all below, and see you guys in the video next time. Thank you. Bye.